Here's a breakdown on a full body mobility routine. Starting with either a sled to get blood flow, or I'm doing banded reverse out knee pain, going double leg here. We can do single leg, just like this. Just starting to get blood flow in that lower area of the body, because that's what we're addressing first. Once we're there, we can work that for 2 to 3 minutes. We then get into opening up the ankles using a pad. What I like to do, get into here with this tib stretch here, sitting, opening up the quads and the tibs at the same time, sitting back, rotating between sides. If this is too much, we start here and we press slowly. Obviously, I'm getting to here. You want to get to here eventually. Opening up, spending time in this position. I would say spend a minute here, right? Just playing around. And then we get into the big toe. So sitting on the big toe, opening up the fascia of the foot, but also that lower Achilles. So being able to sit here and be comfortable, even sit back, is great for opening up the bottom of the foot and the end of that posterior fascia. Being able to be on one leg is a great goal. Obviously, we can start here, spending a minute there. Once we address the ankle, and we get to the calf, going into a slant calf stretch. We're here using a slant. You can use weights. Many people, what do I got to use? Just use weights. Just use a step if you have it. So we're here, flexing the quad, rolling over, trying to press the toes into the bottom, trying to open up that calf actively. Okay, so we're holding here for a minute, right? Obviously, working both sides. You want to roll the hips forward. Think about opening the Achilles as well. Work a minute for both. Then we want to get into opening up the hamstring to the glute, or that upper calf to the glute. What do we start with? The elephant. Wherever level you're at, doesn't really matter. All I want you to do is start working this movement, opening up behind the knee, right behind the quad, in the glute. Okay, so starting, right, you want to curl, get to here, bend both knees, extend one out, spend some time there. Switch, both knees extend out. Obviously, you want to get lower and be more curled into the position, right? I'm gonna go here, bend, extend out, spend some time, bend, extend out. Continue to press into the ground and get lower, because it's gonna be active and you're gonna feel a stretch from here all the way up to this glute. That's the goal. Actively squeezing the quad. You should see it shaking right now. Being able to get that shake within each rep, holding for 3 seconds and then switching. 10 reps on both sides, spending time on each. We can then get to lower levels. Here's 3 different variations. So if that elephant is too easy, we can then go into a pike pulse. So we're using that slant again, getting into the quad flex, using assistance first, rounding the back, getting as deep as we can, and then pressing back up with the hips. As deep as we can. Back up with the hips. Switch. So this is just another variation of a hamstring stretch. Getting deep as we can, pressing back up. You can then go without a slant. That's the pike. Now we can get into the Jefferson curl. Okay, so I'm gonna show body weight. You can obviously add load, but this is another hamstring variation, right? So you're getting your feet on a slant. They don't have to be on a slant. They could be on a step or just like this. Getting as deep as we can, and then coming back up in that rounded position. We could do it with a slant, just like this. Round as deep as we can. Keep the quads flexed. They should be shaking, and then rounding, decompressing that spine and curling back up. For the pikes, you wanna get 10 reps each side. For the Jefferson curl, get 12 slow, controlled, strict reps. Then we want to get into opening the front side, split squat. So how we begin this, again, starting here, it's a split squat hip flexor pulse. It's a bit different than what we usually do. So we're here, getting into that deep position, then keeping this leg relaxed, and then flexing, trying to open up that hip flex. You want to get 10 reps on both sides. You can use assistance or without. You can stay here, or you can get to lower levels like the ground. Relax. So squeeze that back glute. Make sure we're getting hamstring to cover calf here. And we're just repping this just like this. So we're really trying to open up that front hip. Okay, we're then gonna continue to open up that front side, but work this middle quad muscle now. We're gonna get into the couch stretch. So we're getting up against the wall, using the pad. That knee all the way against the wall. Slide the leg up, right? All the way against the wall. Bring this up, probably already gonna feel a stretch, right? We're trying to open up this middle quad. So we start here, we use something for assistance. I'm using this medicine ball right here, squeezing the glute, trying to press and kick into the wall, active with the core as well. So we work here, right? And then we try to fight our way higher and higher, but not pressing on the spine. We're just slowly progressing, whatever level you're at, to higher levels, getting eventually to that shoulders to wall with the glute squeezed. So you wanna work both sides for 1 minute each, just being active in that position. Keeping that active, right? Shoulders to wall, glutes squeezed, and I'm kicking into the wall, pressing right there. Now we're gonna work opening up the groin area, right? We're gonna use a resisted butterfly, getting back fully against the wall, pressing down, squeezing the glutes, trying to get knees to floor, and then pressing into our hands as we come up. So it's press down, squeeze glutes, then press against our hands and resist up. We're gonna get 20 reps here. Press. There we go. Get back down. Press. So whatever level you're at, obviously you're using your hands, so you can play around whatever you can handle. But we want to get 20 strict reps there, and that is one for the groin. I'll show you another with a standing good morning. I'm going to use an exercise ball right here, okay? Get in a wide stance. We want to try and keep a flat back here. Get the hips to hinge behind us. Keep quads flexed. We're reaching out, getting as deep as we can. Obviously, if we have to start here and then come back up, just like that. Getting wider with the feet is more difficult. Squeezing the quads and keeping the back flat. Pressing back up. If we can get 20 here, that's a pretty great standard to be at. Now we're gonna address the outer glute. I dealt with chronic sciatica in college, so this is how I finally got out of it. So I got into a 90-90 position. Actually 90-90, I can't stress that enough. Reaching over the kneecap, trying to get the chest to touch the knee, and then pressing that knee into the ground when you come up. So I'm reaching over, press. Now, some people often have like a pinching area either in this hip or this hip. So that's why we work the couch and the split squat first, so we can then have this area be opened up so we can actually get into this stretch without having that pinch. All right, I'll show this angle. So you should feel that glute open up as you go down, reach out in front of you, and then press into the ground. If you can get 20 reps on both sides, that's a great standard to be at. Then had to get to more advanced levels, use less assistance, reach out even more, and then press into the ground. Still getting that 20 reps. QL extension. So if you notice, we're working our way up the chain. So the QL is this low back muscle right here on the side, and we want to balance it out for rotation. So we use a back extension, getting our feet inside. The outside leg is behind, the inside leg is in front. You do want to work both sides, but I've been liking this a bit more. Bend the knees slightly, hand on head, reach down as deep as we can, get a deep stretch, and then press back up. If this is too much, grab onto this, get to wherever you can handle, and then press back up. Getting as deep as we can, pressing up. I was a quarterback, so my hips were always out of whack from throwing, but now with the quarterbacks that I work with as well as myself, I was able to balance out my hips with this movement right here. For the QL extension, you want to get 10 strict reps on both sides. Now we're gonna work the lats and upper shoulder and chest area with a pullover. You can use lighter weight. I'm gonna use 50. Obviously you can use like 20 or 25 or whatever it is. I'm in a cross bench position. My shoulders are even with the edge of the bench behind me. And I think of it like a back bridge. So my hips drop as the weight drops. I get a deep stretch and I press back up. Press back up, just like that. If that's too much for you, you can just set up on the flat area of the bench and have the weight drop right out in front of you and press back up like that. Get 12 good reps like that of deep stretch and then contract. Then we want to work body weight external rotation. I think this has been the easiest for players with any shoulder issues or coming off shoulder issues to then get mobility in the shoulder. So we're here, keeping this shoulder straight, literally just using our arm, coming down, feeling a stretch in that shoulder, that rotator cuff at the bottom, and then coming back up. Just repping this movement right here is going to alleviate some pain and send blood flow directly to the joint. You want to get 15 reps on both sides. Now lastly, I just want to talk about the neck real quick. So we're often like this. A good way to slowly open that up is one, using a neck bridge, but also just being able to look up and then open up your chin to open up any area of the neck, just like this. So look up and get that stretch, just like that. And then to work the side of the neck, we're at the edge of a bench, just like this, getting rotation. You want to get 10 reps on both sides. Your neck should be a little bit on fire, but we definitely want to balance out any imbalances we have up there. And that is the full mobility routine. Previously, for my updated one, just wanted to give you guys more of a clearer approach with sets and reps. You want to go through that entire process 2 times, and everything from the sets and reps will be listed below just so that you can use this as a routine for yourself at home. I hope this helps. Anybody from an athlete to a grandma can be doing these movements at any level, so understand that. And as always, stay locked in.